Hello students. As you already know that you can represent different type of numbers on a number line. So today our topic is representation of rational numbers on a number line. Okay. So before starting with the representation of rational numbers on a number line, we would like to see how to represent various natural numbers on a number line. Okay. This is just for you to recall your previous knowledge. For example, if I have to represent, say, the rational number 5 on a number line. So how do we do this? Let's see now. So I'm sorry for the line, it's not straight. So this is a line. Here I have to represent number 5 on the number line. So say whenever you have positive numbers, it's always on the right hand side, and you done negative numbers are on the left hand side. So here I have to represent 5 on the number line. So let me make 5. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. So you can see that this particular point, say this is point A, it represents the number 5 on the number line. So students, please see that the gaps between these numbers should be equal. Okay, you don't have to measure it exactly, but you make it look equal. Okay, it should be equal. The gaps between 2 and 4, it should not be a bigger gap and again a smaller gap. It will be wrong otherwise. Okay, now in the same way you can also represent integers. Okay, suppose if it is asked, say represent, say, -6. Okay, if you are asked to say represent -6 and say 4 on the number line. So all of us know, see, this is your 0. Okay, the positive numbers are on the right side and negative numbers on the left side. So let me see, 1, say this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Okay, so this particular number, say this is my x, will represent 4. Okay, and on the left hand side I have all the negative one. Let me put -1, -2, sorry, -3, -4, and -5, and one more, say -6. So this particular, say this is my y, this point will represent -6 on a on the number line. Okay, now students, getting back to representation of a rational number on a number line. The things that I explained before were integers, or say those were natural numbers. Now if I have to represent this rational number on a number line, what we will do? So here what I have to do is, first the basic concept is same, that is the positive numbers will be on the right hand side and negative numbers on the left hand side. Now please see here that whenever this is a rational number, you can know that this is a fraction. Now 3/5, you know, if I ask you whether it is a proper or improper fraction, this is a proper fraction because the denominator is bigger than the numerator. Now what I have to do, I have to see the denominator. What is the denominator? It is 5. So what I have to do, since it is a positive, I'll make it on this side. I will make 5 divisions. This 1 equal 2, 3, 4, and 5. This should be equal. So what is it? This is 3/5. So what I will write is 1/5, that is the one part of the 5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and this is my 5/5. 5/5, you know, if you can, it will give you 1 also. So what do I need? I need to represent 3. So what you can do is, this particular point is, say, name it as x. This x represents 3/5. Now if I ask you to represent -3/5 on the number line, the process will be same. Only the thing is that it will be on this particular side of the number lines because it will be a negative rational numbers. Okay, students. So now with this, we will start with the exercise. Okay, that is exercise 1.2 of the chapter. Now students, let us get started with the exercise 1.2. The first question is, represent these numbers on the number line, and the number 1 is 7/5. by 4. Okay, now as you can see this, if I can say this is a fraction, it is not a proper fraction, it is an improper fraction. So whenever it is an improper fraction, what I have to do in the first thing, I have to convert it into a mixed fraction. Okay, all of you know how to convert it into a mixed fraction. When I convert it into a mixed fraction, I will get 1 3 by 4, right? So now I have to represent this particular thing on a number line. So let us try what? I will draw a number line. Okay, so is this positive? I'll need the right side of the number line. I don't need the left hand side. So I can start my 0 from here. Now first thing is that first one is 1, then I have 3 by 4. If I have asked you only to place this on the number line, that is 3 by 4, it is very easier. It's common to the previous sum, that is I explained, that is 3 by 5. But now here first we have a 1. So what I will do, I will first represent 1 on the number line. This is my 1. After that I will do 3 by 4. So for 3 by 4, now you forget about the 1. You see this is a proper fraction. What is the denominator? 4. So I will make 4 divisions. These are smaller than this gap. See, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so this is my 1 by 4, this is 2 by 4, 3 by 4 and this is my 4 by 4. So please see, now this is the 3 by 4. So this particular place is 1 3 by 4 or it is equal to 7 by 4. Let me name it as say A. Okay, so I can just write down point A represents 7 by 4. Okay, students, please try doing this. So there is a question number 2, that is minus 5 by 6. This is an improper, this is a proper fraction. It is negative, so it will be on the left side of 0 on this particular side. You'll have to make 6 divisions, then you will do minus 1 by 6, minus 2 by 6, minus 3 by 6, minus 4 by 6 and so on. And then you will get a point where you will get minus 5 by 6. Mark it as with any alphabet A, B, C, D as you like and write down that point represent minus 5 by 6. This will be your homework. Okay. Okay, now moving on to question number 2. Question number 2 is represent minus 2 by 11, minus 5 by 11 and minus 9 by 11 on the number line. So when it is given on the number line means we have to represent all this in one single number line. Now you can see all these 3 are negative. Okay, so what I will do, I'll make a number line first. Okay, this is my number line and I can see all of them are proper fractions. So I do not have to convert them into mixed fractions. So if since all of them are negative, I'll need the left side of this 0. I can start my 0 from here. Now what we have to do, I can see all of their denominators are same. Okay, when all of their denominators are same, I do not have to find LCM and make the denominators same. It is already done. All of them have the same denominators and I can see the denominator is 11. So I will make 11 parts. Okay, so let me count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11. Okay, so first one will be minus 1 by 11, minus 2 by 11, so on. I'll write till 11 by 11. See this, all of this are ready now. So what is the first number? That is minus 2 by 11. So you can take a pencil. Okay, I don't have a pencil, so I'm using this. This is minus 2 by 11. So let me, okay, I'll take a different color to make it more precise. This is one particular point, you can see, right? So let me name it as say A. Another is minus 5 by 11, this B. And the third one is minus 9 by 11, C. So I got all the 3 points. I can write properly. Point A represents minus 2 by 11. B represents minus 5 by 11 and C represents minus 9 by 11. Okay, So these are the only two questions in your textbook which is given as representation of rational number on a number line. You have to try more sums to make it very clear. So I'd like to give you a few extra questions which are not given in your textbook so that you can try it out as your homework. I'm going to write it down here so you can view and do the sums carefully. So students, these are two homework that I have assigned for you. In the first question, you have to make separate number lines. On one, you will represent 3 by 4, minus 3 by 7, third this one, and fourth this one. And for question number 2, you will have to make all of this on a single number line. That is like question number 2 that I have just explained. Okay. So students, please go through it properly. If you have any doubt, we'll clear up in the next class. Thank you everyone.